The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live from the radio studios of WFAY and WMRV, Androlonis Media presents Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio.
Everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas. I'll be your host this afternoon. We're proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in this region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice of the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. This morning, we welcome very special guests to the Cabinet, Mr. Bobby Hurst of the ICA, welcome, and Miss Jackie Taylor of the ICA as well, and my special co-host, Laura Musler.
What do you mean by special?
Morning. You're very special to me. You know that. So
we have somebody joining us in a few minutes, too.
We do. We have an empty seat, so we're waiting on Mr. John Szoka to join us. We're going to dive into the show. We appreciate you tuning in and spending time with us. Please take a moment to like, share, or follow us on Facebook and look for us at thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find links to our shows and how to listen on your favorite podcast broadcaster. Don't go far. We'll be right back. So Bobby, it's always good to see you. So what's been going on lately, last couple of weeks?
Thank you, Peter. Been very busy. Thank you also, Laura, for co-hosting the show and inviting us in to participate in this as we share what the Independent Conservative Alliance Political Action Committee is all about.
Okay. So, Laura, you want to jump in?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, It's your show. Take it from there.
It's not my show. It's their show. We're just here to facilitate.
So,
tell us exactly what the ICA is, what they do, and how they differ from the GOP, which would be the Republican Party.
Okay, thank you, Laura, for that question. About 3 years ago, I started the ICA. We actually had a different name at the time, but we changed that as a group decision. But started about 3 years ago out of the need from citizens saying, or Republicans mainly, saying, hey, we need, qualified and quality candidates to run for office. So many times we get, people that just want to file just to have their name, maybe get some name ID for various reasons. And it's been hard to elect people. And we have some perennial candidates to run all the time and lose. So the reason I formed the PAC at the time is to really recruit and talk with potential candidates, Republicans, and then run them through our process, our interview process, vetting process, and then do our best to support those candidates. And we felt like in the long run, if we get qualified candidates winning some of these local races, whether it's county commissioner, city council, or state house, state senate, then the big money people in town are going to start saying, yeah, I'm going to start investing in some of these Republicans because they're really good. And for an example, I'll go way back. My first campaign was campaign managing Mia Morris for state house. Young, attractive. Her husband was a captain at Fort Bragg, and she had lived here, moved in from California, but she had a passion for service, very smart, intellectual, and so I felt like through my pre-clearance interview process, she was a great candidate for state house. And it was difficult to get people to get on board. and give her money. But once she won, then they said, wow, we're impressed. And she served 3 terms up in Raleigh and did a phenomenal job. Great conservative.
Now, you
lady.
keep saying Republican and then you go back to conservative. The ICA is for conservative candidates, not just Republicans, or is it just
For conservative? In fact, we're founded, our appeal are to those that are like-minded with conservative values, the principles of fiscal responsibility, limited government, and lower taxes. So in our interview process, we'll find that out. If they have the like mind as we do, as being conservative, then,
so it's possible to be an
blessing.
independent or a libertarian and
absolutely.
still get the
That's
PACs?
correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So I do need to say, full disclosure, I was endorsed by the ICA last election cycle. So, I know what kind of candidate they're looking for. I do want to explain to our audience, what is a political action committee? Like what's their purpose in the country or in our local politic?
Primarily is to raise money.
Okay.
For we don't, as a PAC, we're separate, so we don't get involved in the campaign or your campaign, for example, for county commissioners. We don't get in there and tell you how to run a campaign.
Right.
So
we're
separate.
Anything that you spend or do on behalf or for, behalf or for the candidate, it's really, it's not like you're consulting with me on,
That's
hey,
correct.
do you want us to mail or do you want us to do? You're just doing what you think
That's
is
correct.
proper to elevate that candidate.
That's correct.
Okay. So I want to go into, because of course you've caught some backlash lately, which is not unfamiliar in our local GOP. But I want to talk about your criteria first. Let's talk about, so Jackie, can you fill us in on what do you look for with a candidate?
Well, first and foremost, like Bobby said, we're looking for a conservative. We're looking for someone who has the same values as we do.
Okay. So conservative meaning little government, low taxes.
Correct.
What was the other one, Bobby?
Fiscal responsibility.
Fiscal responsibility. I like it. Balance the checkbook.
Besides that, we look for candidates that are transparent. We're looking for transparency. We're looking for candidates who have a plan in place.
Okay.
Candidates who are able to raise money, because unfortunately you cannot win without raising money.
Yes, I've said several times here and in public, I said, look, the ideal of the Norman Rockwell citizen standing up and, running for office is no more. This is unfortunately a marketing
Yes.
effort. That's really what it is. You have to reach. I have so much coming at me as a citizen, text, phone calls, emails, spam, all this stuff coming at me, that how do we as candidates cut through the noise? And that's something that they have to have a good plan about, or why should you work with them?
Correct. Well, if our candidate, if we're interviewing a candidate and they have a weak plan or some kind of plan and they want our help, we're going to help them form a plan.
Okay.
But
they have to be humble enough to ask.
They have to ask. They have to want our help.
Which is hard for candidates, because I think it's a special type that will put their name on a ballot. Maybe not saying 100%, but it is hard, I think, to ask for help.
So the people, I'll tell you, Pavan Patel interviewed with us, and he said straight away, I don't know what I don't know. And that is exactly right. You don't know what you don't know. Let us help you. One of the things that I want to point out is that we have a immense amount of wisdom and experience. And when I say we, not me, the rest of the group
Don't underplay yourself.
has an amazing amount of experience. And I counted this past weekend to find out, because I was curious how many years. We have over 100 years of experience being an elected official and campaigning. That's a lot of knowledge right there.
You don't look a day over 30. So you're doing good.
Aww.
Yeah. So, speaking to that experience, you've got 2 former state senators, you have a current House member, you have former city councilman, you have yourself as a former GOP chairwoman. So I would say you're qualified to make these decisions in observation. So let me recap your requirements. The candidate has to have a plan of their campaign as far as what their message is. The candidate has to have a financial or what do you call it, fundraising effort. They have to have some organized idea, maybe even down to having envelopes to say give me.
They have to be willing to raise
Have to be
money.
willing to raise money.
That's one of the hardest things to do.
What
It
about
really
like
is.
volunteer organization or like an apparatus?
Which would be
get out?
the base of support.
Okay.
And good work ethic and a positive attitude.
Okay.
Because we can tell right away, just from the feedback that we're getting, if they're going to, if they have that work ethic and that desire to really work hard and win. There's a friend of mine, I'm going to mention his name, that did not have a good work ethic, very smart, and had a pretty good base of support, but it was hard for him to get volunteers because the volunteers aren't going to, work and get out there and do door to door and do all the other varying aspects of running a campaign if the candidate is not.
Right.
So we can tell that right away.
You have to be present. I mean, just from my own experience, you have to be present during your campaign, and you have to be setting. It's not looks like running a restaurant.
Example.
I got to set the example.
Right.
I got to be the fastest gun in the West back there on the slice machine, or nobody else is going to learn how to do it. So, so financial, volunteer organization, just a good plan, and then like you said,
Be open to learning.
be open.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that what Pavan Patel asked or said was, "I don't know what I don't know." That's great.
It is great because we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And if you're not willing to find out what you don't know, how can you win?
Well,
And
especially
also-
going
and
in front
also,
of a
I don't
group
mean to
like you
interrupt.
guys. I mean, look how you get like a 200 years of experience between you guys.
Yeah, and also to be able to know what some of the hot issues are. I mean, again, that kind of eliminates right away if you are just running to just have your name on a ballot. Do you know what are your top 3 priorities? What are some of the issues and concerns of the citizens, especially in your district if it's a city council race? But this team that Jackie had talked about with over 100 years of experience, I can tell you, we also have, you had mentioned about Szoka being state house and state senate with Wesley Meredith. He also served as mayor pro tem on city council. Diane Wheatley has served on county commissioners as well as current state rep and also on school board. And then I'm city council. So that our team has had experience in all elected positions that we're recruiting to serve
and
in public service.
they've started down here and they've worked their way through the ranks to gain that experience.
That's correct.
Because so when a candidate says, I'm going to go straight to the line and run for a state senate or Congress, I'm like, I just feel as a citizen voting that I would want them to kind of earn their stripes,
Earn their chops
down here in the grassroots area and the neighborhoods before they try to elevate themselves to. Now, I don't know, John, did you go straight to Senate? I don't know, maybe you were one of those guys, but
He seems like one of those guys.
I actually was in the House. You just demoted me by saying I was in the Senate.
okay.
Welcome, John
No,
Szoka.
he said the House.
I just got in from a flight got here as
Okay.
fast as the speed limit would let me.
Yeah. You got to be uncomfortably close to these mics, John. It's really weird to be in here, but
It's okay.
oh, there you go.
Gotta shrink.
Okay. So yeah, no, I didn't want to demote you. That was your friend Bobby. So, okay. So far we've covered what y'all's requirements are for a candidate. I did nibble around the edge that we've had some backlash in the Cumberland County GOP or just voters overall.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
Do you interview all candidates? Is it just conservatives and independents? Is it, do you interview Democrats also, or how do you pick which candidates you want to interview?
We're a conservative pack. So if you're a registered Democrat, even in an unaffiliated race, you've kind of said what you believe. And we're conservatives. We don't believe in a lot of what Democrats do. Now, if you're a Republican, you're eligible to be interviewed by us. And if you're unaffiliated in an unaffiliated race, there's some reason you haven't chosen to affiliate yourself with either Democrats or Republicans. So in that case, we made, like for unaffiliated races here, city council and mayor, we made the offer to people who are registered unaffiliated. And by questioning them, found out, were they conservative or not? Which way did they lean? And so that's why we did what we did.
Okay.
Yes, you did the horrible transgression of endorsing an independent candidate for mayor of city of Fayetteville. I'm so shocked. I can't believe you would actually sit down and have a conversation with somebody and determine that they were a good fit.
Well, I'm sorry to surprise you like that. And I see you got a little bit more gray in your beard than on top of your head.
I
But,
absolutely do.
You
Yes.
know, and I think Bobby went over what this pack is supposed to do, what we're supposed to do, and what we are motivated to do is find good, qualified people who are going to do the best work they can for the people in this county, whether it's for the legislature, county commissioners, city council, town, whatever. It's. I think we can all agree we're very divided on a partisan level, certainly at the national level. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that's really good for the country.
No.
Me.
And if we just bring that home to where we all live and work on a daily basis, how is that helping anybody?
And I can also say that Jackie Taylor did an awesome job as county chair, and John Szoka has served his constituents awesome, and so is Wesley Meredith, and I'm 5 terms on city council, and Diane Wheatley's currently serving, but has served at the 3 various levels I mentioned to you. And so when we formed this political action committee, many people have shared with me, and even one recently that wrote a rather large check to one of the ones we endorse, because they say, I just don't have time. There's a lot of people. There's 10 people running for mayor. There's a lot of people running for the districts that have never run before. I don't know who they are. But with the experience of over 100 years of service from this political action committee, I feel good about their selections. That's who I'm going to vote for. That came up to me after our endorsement,
right.
a lot from people.
Well, and that's why some. Go ahead, Jackie.
Sorry, I just want to note that we don't take the endorsements lightly, and we spend days interviewing,
and
hours and days.
That's what I wanted to speak to. So I think everybody in this room is pretty well in the political sphere. We pay attention. We see the nuance of what goes on. And I think we all have a pretty good idea of how government works, even though I've never sat in the seat. But we realize what we don't know. Okay. And that's why I asked you, like, what's the definition of a PAC? Because people listening, we have to remember the vernacular of the average guy trying to pay his mortgage, take care of his family. They don't know what the hell we're talking. I mean, we get deep in these weeds of these political conversations, and I think the message gets lost on the average citizen. Yeah. And that's why it's important for you guys to have more visibility and keep doing the work that you're doing, because then they can get buy-in. Look at this credible team of people. Who's calling?
So now we said that you do interview all candidates. Do you have a metric, or do you print up or anything like that, those people that you've extended an invitation to and either don't respond or don't show up or are late for their appointment or anything like that? Do you have some kind of, so that those of us that are on the outside know that, holy smokes, they were invited, they didn't even show up, or they showed up 30 minutes late and weren't even gracious enough to let you know they're running late?
I was the one that invited the unaffiliated, and Jackie Taylor was the one that invited the Republicans. And this is my schedule. And I'm impressed. Everybody showed up on time or a little early for the interviews, because that showed us that they really were excited about and wanted to be endorsed by the ICA PAC. And so, it was really good. And that's the same way that it worked for our interview process with the county commissioners, city council and county commissioners. It was 2 afternoon into the evening time, 2 days, and it was quite extensive, as Peter can say. When he said at the beginning, he was interviewed. So
it is worth noting, though, that we did extend invites to candidates that did not respond or accept our invite.
Yeah.
That's that old song. I can't make you love me. That's it. If I can invite you, but you can't go. So I've actually had a little backlash for the show here in the last couple of weeks, because I was told I don't have certain demographic of people on my show. And then I had to actually screenshot and prove that I've invited them 3 times, June, July, and August, same email, same BCC list.
And in person.
So I have invited the Republican mayoral candidates on, and they've declined after, I think, 5 invitations.
Wow.
So, I don't know what they're worried about.
Let me just add to, I think, part of the question you're driving at, because I've got wind of this in various social media. Everybody's treated the same. If you're invited and you don't show up, we're not going to endorse you, because we haven't had that one-on-one time to figure out where we are. I don't care what party you are. We have phone records showing that we invited every Republican. Some chose to come. Some said, no, I'm not really interested. And some never responded. So if you don't want our endorsement, don't be surprised if you don't get it, if you don't answer a call, and if you don't show up.
So and this is my thinking about that. I mean, when because was that the first round of endorsements y'all handed out during the last election, 24? Was that the first time you really came together to endorse people?
For the commissioners.
For the
That was the
commissioners,
first.
yeah.
What about any other races? Was it?
No,
anything
that's
before?
it.
So that was really the first.
We were considering school board,
Okay.
but we decided we focused on, because we also want to fundraise and help, and there's 3 open seats, as you know, for county commissioners.
Right.
So.
Well, and what I wanted to speak to was that, as a candidate being asked to come and, okay, let me go see senator and city councilman. And, that's an opportunity.
It's an honor
to go and maybe pick your brain and learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I still appreciate your candid feedback during my city council race.
I appreciate that, Peter, because it's not just an interview. It's like we ask a question, you respond, you ask a question.
Yeah.
We have a list of 20 or 25 questions to get a feeling, and then we ask leading questions that lead to a discussion, like, let's hear your elevator speech. Why is it that you want to run for whatever office you're running for? And if it's, well, I'm qualified because I did this and I did that and I was in the Army and blah, blah, blah. But you don't ever tell us why you want to be elected and why you want to help people.
And what civically you can do.
Yeah. Then we have the discussion, and I go into my pitch. There's one question people want to know.
Yeah.
It's like, if I vote for you, what are you going to do for me? And that might sound a little harsh, but I've knocked on thousands of doors. And what it comes down to is that. So if people are focused on themselves rather than on constituents, that's a big tell there. Sometimes people don't want to hear our advice. It's like, okay, well, look, it's only advice. Well, I can't tell you what to do. You're the candidate.
Exactly.
So it's.
And if you've never faced down John when he's asking you that stuff, you just don't know how it feels. I think I got a little chill there just a minute, because I remember, and it's just, I always feel ill prepared with him. Everybody, I can knock any kind of doors
in my stomach. I was like, what's my elevator? I'm not running.
The doors don't scare me. It's John scares me. So anyway,
well, I don't mean to scare. I do.
Yeah. No, I know, but
it's
it's
scare anybody.
He does.
But like, when I was in the House in the Republican caucus, I was the elected House Republican conference leader.
Okay.
And I was responsible for all the politics outside of the building. So I've interviewed probably over 100 candidates, and the caucus has run, in my 4 terms that I had that position, probably over 80 races. So it's not like I've done it 2 times and I think I know everything. I've learned from consultants who have been doing this for years. I've done it with other candidates. So I try and distill that down to really help people. But again, if you want help or you want endorsement, you got to show up.
You show up and be open-minded, I would say.
Okay, so now we've had these interviews. These people show up. You sit and speak to them for a while. They get an endorsement. What exactly does that? What does an endorsement actually confer to? Money, volunteers, mail, digital? What does an endorsement actually mean?
D, all of the above. No, go ahead. Thank you, Engineer Jim.
Yeah, no, I was fixing my mic because I was kind of crouching down on my back.
Well, I think you're the tallest, so we don't have the mics set for guys like you. So
what's the endorsement do?
Yeah.
Well, not what does it do? What does it confer to? Like, do you donate to the campaigns? Do you just send out mailers for them? Do you do digital ads? What does it actually mean to be, okay, I'm endorsed for the ICA. I saw that you guys sent out the email.
Okay, here's what it does. Anybody who's listening, or any of us, there's only 3 things you can give to a candidate. You can give them money, which helps them buy signs and advertising. You can give time. You can go knock on doors to help that candidate. And you can give them your name. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you want to vote for candidate X and they're in your district or whatever, you put a sign out on your front lawn and you're saying, I, who live in this house, your neighbors know who you are, I support this person, I'm going to vote for them. PAC endorsements work the same way. I think probably not everybody in town knows who all of us are. They probably know Diane and me and Bobby and Jackie and well, that's everybody, I guess. So,
I was going to say, who doesn't know you guys?
So if they know who we are, it's like we're saying individually and collectively through a rigorous process that we're giving this candidate our name, that we think you're the best candidate for the office. So if nobody knows who we are, and nobody knows who the candidate is, it probably doesn't mean anything. But people who watch politics, in particular in primaries, I always say that the 4x4 voters, people who show up for the last 4 primaries, those are people who would low crawl over broken glass to get to the polls. To those folks, it means something.
Okay.
So, and of course, all of us have databases, and we can make phone calls, and that's one thing we like to do is make phone calls, raise money, and do a mailer or two for our endorsed candidates. So that's helpful. And for the county commissioners, we did that separately, not collaborating with the campaign team. We did it on behalf of the ICA. And, the candidates so far that I've seen have used our logo in their ads, which is fine, or their digital footprint on Facebook or what other social means that they have. But John had mentioned about, our name is what really I think is the most important, because as I mentioned to you about the big donor that said, well, I'm going to give money to who you endorse for mayor because I know the process, the vetting, the background check, the interview that y'all put these people through, and I'm going to support who y'all support. And so that, goes a long way. That name goes a long way.
Now, there is some dispute on Facebook.
I love the Facebooks.
Yes, there's a couple disputes, but the first one, and the one that's getting, I guess, the most attention, is the fact that a couple months ago, the GOP sent out an email saying that they were, I think they used the wrong word or the wrong verbiage, perhaps, that they were working with you guys. Can you guys explain the relationship between the ICA and the GOP?
PACs are independent. We are not aligned with the GOP. And the chairman, he's a new guy, he's doing great work, I think. I think there was probably some words, a little misuse there, but we're independent. We're not part of the GOP. I belong to the GOP, but as far as the county party, we're not a part of it. They knew what we're doing. They got excited. And they put out an email.
Let's say again for the regular listener,
he's new.
You weren't a part of the party. You're still a registered Republican.
I'm still a Republican,
but you're not on the party board of the Cumberland County
former
GOP.
elected. I'm on
executive committee
board, executive committee, but I'm not on the board.
Right.
I don't think
we're all on executive committee, just not on the.
But you're not on the
we're
actual
not on the board.
executable,
we don't
making decisions for the party.
No. Like that. There've been a lot of people, Republicans, Democrats, unaffiliated in this town who are thankful for what we're doing because we do have a lot of experience, and some may have explained what we're doing a little over enthusiastically.
Well, so to go back to maybe when this started with the ICA, I think, Bobby, you were on the GOP board, and they started to look to you to vet candidates as part of a party function.
Yeah.
But then for various reasons that affected you and a bunch of other people,
I stepped off.
You had to step away.
And that's when we started the PAC, or I started the PAC.
And see, that's been misconstrued that, that's why people are tying the party to the ICA because, well, Bobby was up there. It's like, but Bobby resigned.
Yeah.
And now he's independent with these folks who
and
are
at the
Republicans.
Same time, Bruce used some words being new and not knowing specifically what words to use or not use.
Bruce Sykes, the chairman.
Bruce Sykes,
GOP.
yes, the chairman of the GOP, used some incorrect words because you're not working together. You're not part of the board or anything like that. It was just
I don't know how he could have rephrased that. I mean, could he just said, look, friendly nod to the ICA, former Republicans, electeds, that we like what they do.
Right.
I mean, pretty much. And then he endorsed the Resource Center.
Correct.
As like, if you're a candidate, go see them to help with the back office stuff of the campaign. And that's where we got, I think that's what connected us.
Yeah.
And it was accidental. It was not intentional.
Yeah.
I
was invited to present at the XCOM meeting one evening. And I think the Resource Center was invited as well because there was a lot of, back talk
misinformation
and everything. And I just shared what we do, what we do. And of course, that's the extent of it.
Yeah. But what you do is independent of whatever the party does. So what's the role of the party? I mean, what's really at its essence? What's the role of the local GOP party to do? What are they really?
Well, one thing that they don't do really or haven't done very well is recruit candidates to run for office, and they're not going to interview or go through processes like we do.
It's really not the GOP's job.
No, it's not.
Their job is to get people to the polls. Their job is to have slate cards at the polls and people at the polls representing.
So are they supposed to give my campaign money or volunteers?
No, that is
Aren't
not.
y'all holding volunteers like in a little pen and you just hold them back?
That's not how that works. No.
Well, they certainly can give money if they raise money to support Republican candidates in races.
So they could give money if they raised it.
If they raise it, they can give it.
So from what I'm hearing, their primary job is to
money
turn
would
people.
probably be better spent turning out to get out the vote.
Exactly.
That's what the money should be spent for. Because as an individual, if I give the GOP money, I want to increase voter turnout. I don't want you to give it to nothing personal, but John Szoka, who's running for
nothing
president.
Right now. But that's
but if John Szoka was running for president, I would give John Szoka money, not the GOP money.
If I run again, I'm going to make sure you're not making those decisions. I want the money.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway.
So it's a very basic function of the party is to turn out the vote, maybe provide those slate cards, and that's about it. I mean, I saw someone down at the
grassroots organization with precinct chairs and all that, which is basically spreading the message and getting more people that are maybe unaffiliated or not registered at all to register as a Republican and get the vote out.
Okay.
And we're separate. We do totally totally different.
So that's why I'm trying to make a distinction between the little bit the party's supposed to do is really not all that much. And people still think, I believe, that the party we're getting money from the national GOP. That's why we should, as a county GOP, have an office. And it's like, look, it's all volunteer.
Yeah,
this is all donor funded.
Local
donor funded. And what I was going to say was that early voting right now, as of yesterday, there are a couple ladies standing up for the GOP, handing out slate cards. And men.
There was men out there too.
I just saw the Facebook post. Okay. But the thing is, they're asking for more volunteers. It's like, hey, let the candidates provide the volunteers. I don't see that as a function of the party to provide volunteers to stand up.
If it's run properly, in my opinion, the GOP says, okay, Bobby, you're running for this. How many volunteers do you have? You have 8. Okay, let's spread them out here. Jackie, you're running for this. You have 6. Okay, well, don't put them at the same 8 that Bobby's are at. Let's put them at these 6 spots. John Szoka, you have 5,020. We're covered. But
well, hell, this is just one precinct.
But now we have 12 places covered. Yes. Now the GOP steps in and says, let's take care of the other 40 so that we're all covering each other and working together. That's the idea of the GOP in my personal
I think first
opinion.
You have to have an inviting environment for volunteers to want to come.
That's a whole nother story.
Running your meetings succinctly. You got to get them in, get them out, hour and a half. That's it. People are volunteering their time.
That's right.
Respect that and cut down the bickering back and forth.
Be professional.
I mean, run the meeting. I mean, Chairman Sykes has done a really good job of getting us in and out in like an hour, and that's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm at government relations at the chamber. My last meeting was like 40 minutes. We were in and out.
As long as everything's getting covered, that's good.
We cover most everything, I think.
Right.
Anyway, so
okay, more to Facebook drama.
Oh Lord.
Okay, we got
we have a few more minutes.
Okay,
I want to ask this. So, what key challenges in Fayetteville are being ignored by party politics that you kind of want to address? And that's kind of goes to your formation of why you're here.
I think you need to. Well, we fill a role that the GOP does not fill, which is what motivated us to do what we're doing right now. Because one of the worst things you can have, there's a lot of worse things, but something that's not good is if you have too many candidates running for an office and they all think they're going to win and they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, I applaud the motivation for somebody to step out there and say, I want to run for whatever race this is. But when people go out there and they say, well, I have 400 Facebook followers and I'm going to win, or because I walked on all these things supporting whatever and everybody knows me. Well, everybody doesn't know you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So our role as the PAC is to bring reality to people and also to vet them. And one of the questions we ask, this is always an uncomfortable one, and I usually am the one that have to say it.
True story.
It's my job. It's like, okay, is there anything in your past that if it was on the front page of the newspaper, or if it was spread all over Facebook, that you'd be embarrassed about? You don't want people to know any marital infidelity, were you ever accused of murder? Are you bankrupt? Did you have 92 speeding tickets and 3 DW? I mean, Is there anything like that? We're not going to tell anybody. But if there's something like that out there, you need to be honest, not with us, but with yourself, because having been in politics, your life is under a microscope. And people will go back till sometimes high school and college to figure out what you did wrong, and it comes out. So we've had one or two candidates ponder that and say, well, you know what, I don't want that microscope on me, and they pulled out. Which, had they not, and it narrowed the field, so other qualified candidates had a better shot at winning. Had we not asked those tough kind of questions, they would have gone on, and it just leads to
and that tarnishes your reputation for not even asking.
But also to counter that, if you're honest and you tell the PAC or somebody that's interviewing, you can get ahead of it and tell the story out front instead of coming off your back heel. You're, okay, this happened when I was young, whatever the rationale or the story is. It's better to come from you, the candidate or the PAC or whatever, than to be blindsided.
Well, and that's exactly right. And I know that didn't answer your question directly, but that's another reason why we do what we do, to get better quality candidates out there for every race. Because look, it's our community. You know, if we don't care, if you don't care about your own community, what good are you?
Yeah, that's right. This is our backyard. Absolutely.
And I have to admit, several we still endorse them, but they brought up some of that, and we knew that wouldn't be a big deal. And
well, it's still a judgment call by the ICA anyway. So, you know, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want somebody to plow through a playground with a DUI, but, you know, but if they had, you'd want to know. So they say, well, in the words of one of my favorite Democratic college roommates, you know, Pappas, we love a good comeback story, us Southerners.
That's true.
That's what he said. So, you know, maybe you could just spin your story that way. So how are we on time, guys? We got to start heading out of here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure having everybody here.
Thank you for having us.
I do want to say thank you to Mr. John Szoka for showing up, and Mrs. Jackie. Mrs. Jackie Taylor for being here.
I did on a plane.
Okay, all right, the plane. And Mr. Bobby Hurst, thank you for being here today, and Mrs. Laura Musler. Always a pleasure. Thanks for always having my back.
Thank you.
So until next time, with the Carolina Cabinet.